Good morning and welcome to Monday morning. And today is the 30th of January, and we're sharing with you a thought for the day. And it's good to welcome so many of you. But first, let us just be still for a moment. You may have had a restless night, or you may be troubled, or maybe you're just seeking some spiritual truth. So let us just take a deep breath and feel and sense the breath of God flowing over you. And in your out-breath, release to Mother Earth all negative thoughts and mindsets, and just connect with the rhythm of your breathing. Amen. Our theme for this morning is the law fulfilled. And again, coming to the New Testament Christian Bible, we read in St. Luke's Gospel, chapter 6, verses 47 to 48. Everyone who comes to me and hears my words and does them, I will show you what he is like. He is like a man building a house, who dug deep and laid the foundation upon a rock. And when a flood arose, the stream broke against the house and could not shake it because it had been well built. So let's see what Leslie Brandt has to say, and the book we're using is Jesus Now. The law of God still stands. It is summed up in the requirement to love your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Not capable of measuring up to this high standard, religious people often misinterpret it, especially in terms of what they don't do and don't worship other gods. They don't worship other gods. And they don't kill or steal or commit adultery or bear false witness. Jesus did not come to eradicate the law. He came to fulfill it and exemplify it, to translate it into the terms of loving relationships with God and within the whole human family. It involved a cross for him. This is something that many religions cannot comprehend, and many religious peoples will never accept. Some of them will consent to the necessity of Christ's sacrifice as a guarantee for their eternal welfare. They are not as likely to take seriously his injunction to embrace the cross of self-denial and sacrifice on behalf of their sisters and brothers in the human family. They simply have not understood or accepted the meaning and purpose of God's kingdom as revealed through Christ. It is possible that they may never be a part of that kingdom. Not all who are religious will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only those who do the will of God, who do what Jesus commanded them to do, for his words and his deeds are God's will revealed. If a person's faith in God does not result in obedience to his will, as proclaimed and demonstrated through Jesus the cosmic Christ, it is not the true religion. So let us just stay with that for a moment and just allow the Spirit of God to explain what is being said here. And especially if you're not a Christian, you will find some of those words very challenging, maybe patronizing. It is true that to have a vocation or to be called by God, to be a child of God, one must have something more than just an emotional longing for God. One needs to build a solid foundation. You see it when a tornado comes in many parts of the world, where houses are flimsily put together. They're made of prefab materials, maybe cardboard, wood, hardboard. Whereas here in the UK, the majority of our properties are all made of stone and brick to withstand the temperatures that we have in winter and summer. In winter, the brickwork keeps the property warm inside, and in summer, cool. So we have a solid foundation, and if our faith is rooted in the teachings of God as given to us through the prophets, then we have nothing to fear when the storms come. And storms do come. Just because I wear a habit and I'm a monk and have been for many, many years doesn't say, oh, hello, I'm an Oscar on top of a shelf or a piece of ornament or jewelry. No, I'm human and I make mistakes, and I'm also tested by God. I'm challenged by God, especially through other people when I'm misunderstood. So we need to prepare a foundation, and that foundation needs to be built on prayer. Time for quietness and stillness. Time of putting the iPhone and the iPad to sleep for a few minutes or a few hours each day. Time to take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. There needs to be balance and harmony for divine connectedness. But what is God saying to your heart today? Well, he just said there, it's not always those who say they're religious who will enter the kingdom of heaven. It's those who do the will of their God, who listen to that inner voice, who show respect to themselves and to others. We ask now your spiritual teacher to join us as we invite and invoke and call upon the Anointed One, the Christ, to speak to our heart. Maybe there's confusion, or maybe you've been brainwashed in a religious cult, or maybe you were told that Jesus didn't die on the cross, as I've been told many times by various people of different cults, that he had a walk-in. I somehow struggle with that. I believe he did die on a cross. Otherwise, I would not have surrendered my life in service to God as a Catholic Christian in vows as a bride of Christ. That sounds kinky, doesn't it? But I've married my heart to Christ. He is my bridegroom. He is the one that I've given my life to. No regrets. No regrets on not being a dad and fathering children. We each have a choice, but we have to be consistent and not up and down like a weather clock. We have to be truly committed to that inner voice. We have to be disciplined. We have to discipline the mind, because it can run off on a tangent, as you've seen recently with all the goings on the news with President Trump and all these rules that he's coming out with. We need to be consistent, committed, and devoted, but more than anything, we have to honor our heart. And we must invite, invoke, and call upon God to speak to us. God doesn't want to interfere with your life. You were given free will. You were given the choice. And it's up to you. Let us just share with you the meaning of the word Namaste, or Namaste. You'll have heard it a few times maybe, but it's a beautiful definition, and I think it's appropriate, especially today, where there's so much religious prejudice, and especially within the children of Abraham, where now Muslims are being singled out on their mosques and people being killed in them, like in Canada last night or yesterday when people were at prayer. Obviously a reprisal to what Donald Trump had to say. Namaste, I honour the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honour the place in you which of love, of truth, which is of love and truth, of light and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. I wish you a blessed day. It's a lovely day here, a bit cold, but the sun is shining. So I wish you every blessing. Take heart. Try not to get discouraged. And remember, you are a child of God. It doesn't matter whether you're religious or not, or whether you go to church, chapel, shul, synagogue, or temple. It doesn't matter. What matters is your heart. God bless you. Namaste, Shalom, Inshallah, Pax et Bonum, OmShanti, Solo di Caritas, Salam Alaikum, and the peace of all that is sacred to you be with you.